If he is extradited, he will die. But it's not just about him being extradited. Julian should never have been put in prison in the first place.
We could be approaching decision days now in the case of Julian Assange in the legal battles here in London. 2 days of hearing are due at the High Court in London on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week over Julian Assange's bid to resist extradition to the US. His extradition had been ordered by the court earlier, but this now is the start of his appeals process against that ruling. At the moment, the court will only decide whether to grant him permission to appeal, and that is the normal course in the courts here before a full appeal can be heard by a bench of the High Court. So if he is given leave to appeal, there will then be a full appeals hearing where his argument will be heard at some length in the High Court. But if he is refused leave to appeal, then that would be the end of the legal road for him. He then could be on a flight to the US very soon, possibly even within just days. The position of the prosecution now is that Assange has conspired with the Army intelligence analyst Chelsea Manning to hack into Pentagon papers. He faces 17 counts of espionage and 1 count of computer misuse. Together, the 18 counts carry a sentence potentially up to 175 years in prison, though it has been indicated informally that if it were to come to that, the actual sentence served would be only a few years. Assange's bid is inevitably being seen by many as a fight for freedom, as a fight for freedom of expression. The US charge against him is a lot more specific. He has been indicted in those 18 counts for publishing hundreds of thousands of documents in 2010, and these have been considered highly classified documents. They included, for instance, the photographs of a nuclear installation, and the US prosecution case is that such publication is not covered by freedom of expression, that he is not protected over such publication by the First Amendment of the US Constitution. But also, among other documents published, was the video of a US helicopter attacking a target in Baghdad in Iraq in 2007, and 11 people were killed in that attack. Julian Assange's wife Stella, who is leading his supporters, argues that reporting a crime can never be a crime and that he only ran a moral campaign for truth and for rights. But it's been a long saga for Assange. The indictment against him was unsealed back in 2019 in the US, and so it's been 5 years of a legal battle between him and the US authorities in London courts while he has been lodged in prison. But before that, he was holed up in the Ecuador embassy in London for more than 7 years. He took refuge in that embassy to avoid extradition to Sweden to face a rape charge. That charge was later dropped. The whole proceeding in Sweden simply ran out of time. Following his exit from the embassy in London, he was arrested for skipping bail, and since then he has been in prison and been denied bail. A London court had at one stage ruled against the extradition on grounds that he was likely to kill himself, worried to be lodged in a jail in the US, but that was a ruling that was later reversed, and that followed safety assurances from the US. It is over these that the appeal is now to be heard, whether his full appeal should be heard.
His health is in decline, mentally and physically. His life is at risk. Every single day he stays in prison. After 13 years of enduring abuse and torture, do you really think a person can survive that? Julian has been in Belmarsh prison for almost 5 years. His mental and Julian did the right thing. He received information that was evidence of the United States and other countries committing torture and war crimes, and he performed a public duty, and now he's being punished for it. There is nothing to regret about reporting criminality committed by the state.